And we are alive.
All right.
Hello, hello, everyone who is here. What am I doing? I
Hello
don't know
to
what I'm doing. There we
everybody.
go. It looks like so far the only person I'm seeing in chat is Scotty Aquati. So, hello, Scotty.
Same.
Okay, good.
Hello, Scotty.
All right. Well, I know you had quite a bit going on this week. Is there anything positive you want to talk about? Anything fun you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, yeah. We ended up fostering a dog, and we are going to get the adoption papers signed over on Monday, and we're going to keep him. So I'm excited about that.
Yay!
Yeah, he's a
Yay!
real sweetheart. He's a real gem. He really is.
Aw. And I know I saw what it is, but do you want to tell people what kind of dog he is?
Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. So Murphy is his name, and we are pretty confident that he's a high quality German Shepherd mix of some kind. I want to say like maybe he's 3/4 German Shepherd, and then he's probably a quarter something else. Someone thought maybe Black Lab, because of the density of his coat and the fact that it's relatively short. I wouldn't rule out Husky as an option because he kind of carries his tail upwards, kind of like a Spitz breed.
Hmm.
And then I don't know, he may even have something like Doberman in him as well because of his profile. So
Oh,
as soon as we can afford it, we're going to do the DNA test and see for certain. But he definitely has a lot of German Shepherd in him, and he's just the sweetest dog on the planet. I mean, next to my eldest. He's the best. He acclimated perfect to the home. He's already been housebroken. He knows a lot of his basic commands already. He relatively well on a leash. I mean, someone put a lot of work into him before they dumped him. And
oh.
yeah, it's sad. At the same time, I'm just glad that we have him now.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome that he was lucky enough to find you guys and find that forever home that he deserves.
hmm Yeah, and we're experienced with the breed a lot, so that helps a little bit. But I was shocked when, people at the shelter were telling me, he wants him, and he's been there for like 4 or 5 months, and nobody ever asked to look at him or had any sort of prospective adoption. And I'm just thinking, why? Why? He's absolutely perfect. But you know what? That's for a reason then.
Yeah.
I look at it is that then it's intended to be. But I just am a little stunned that, as popular as German Shepherds are, there was no real consideration for him there. And I'm seeing some
Yeah.
people joining chat. I see Jeff
Same.
Kane, TJ Autocross, Linda Worth, Shane's Tanks and Bowls. Let me see. I thought there was someone else up here. Nathan Hovey.
Yep.
And I think that's everybody
I
so
see Scuba
so far.
Steve-O as
So
well.
welcome, buddy. Oh,
Yep.
Steve-O's here. Great. Awesome. It's good to see you,
Annette just
Steve.
popped in.
Oh, Annette, of course, Annette. And I'm going to
Yay!
be sending you those guppies sooner rather than later. I've got some now that I'm getting in from Kenny. I just talked with him today on the member stream. He's going to send me some Viennas and some mutts. So I need
Ooh.
to clear out some stock that I currently have. I'll send some of those to Annette and some of them to Drew from Fishy Biz, so that way my numbers don't totally explode. And
Mhm.
that'll be my project coming up in the next week or two. I'm just waiting for the really cold weather to subside because we're still getting those chilly nights.
Yeah, same here. We actually just got that dreaded S word yesterday. Thankfully, it's all pretty much melted again because
Oh,
it wasn't
wow.
much, but I'm over it. Like, I'm completely over it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. By the time March kind of rolls around, I think we're all kind of over the S word. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And Fish Fam Link has joined us.
Yes.
Hello. Good to see
Hello,
you
Fish Fam.
always.
Oh, goodness. No, that's exciting. It's a new puppy or a new dog in general is exciting. And
hmm
yeah, the fact that you guys found him and adopted him after him sitting in that shelter for so long, that's
hmm
really awesome.
Yeah, we just really lucked out, and, he's acclimated perfectly. He gets along well with the younger dogs as well as our eldest. I mean, Asher's going on 15, and, you have to be a little bit more, patient
Hmm.
with him being a little bit slower, maybe not being as tolerant, but Murphy takes it
Right.
all in stride, and he's just a really good boy. He doesn't bite you or anything over food. He's very gentle when he takes treats. I mean, I don't know why anybody wouldn't want him, to be perfectly honest, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather him be with me
Yeah.
than anybody else, for sure. And I see Crayfish Empire has joined us. Hello.
Yes.
And Peplin Creek Aquatics. Hello, Brian. Be sure to send my love, of course, to Roxanne. I was talking with her earlier this morning on Danikin's stream.
Oh, yay. Kyle Jaded just popped in. Hello, Kyle.
Hey there, Kyle. Good to see you in the chat.
He actually just got a new puppy too, and
Oh,
he's been
cute.
he's actually been training his puppy, with those buttons that say different words,
Yes.
but he's training his
Yeah.
puppy to use those buttons for like treat and outside, and
Very
it's so
nice.
cool.
Very nice. What kind of puppy did you get, Kyle?
Oh yeah, he'll have to tell you. I want to say it's a blue healer, but I could be wrong. He'll have to
Ooh.
tell you for sure, but yeah,
Yeah,
he's
any
always
of those
sending us the
herding breeds
videos.
are super smart. Very
Yeah.
smart dogs.
He sends us the videos all the time, and it's the cutest
Oh,
little thing to see this dog push these buttons for the different things that he needs. It's just
that's
cute.
adorable. And it's good to start them on that at that age when they're very young. I
Yeah.
think that, they have those cognitive processes that are still very malleable. Whereas
Mhm.
if you have an older dog, it's a little bit harder, but they can still do quite a few things. I mean, Murphy is 2, and he's just as smart as, the younger dogs that I have. Cosmo and
Mhm.
Ruthie are only maybe about 3 months younger than him. So it's not too bad of a gap, and he's pretty impressionable. And Keystone Clash has joined us. Hello,
Yes.
Keystone Clash. I wish I could go this year. I really wish I could, but maybe next year. I'm hoping next year it will work out.
I am so, so very excited for the Keystone Clash. I'm so excited.
Oh, I don't blame you at all. Kyle says he's a blue healer mix. Okay, and
There
he's
you
going to get
go.
the DNA done to see what he's mixed with. I wouldn't be shocked
Mhm.
if he had some border collie in his genetics with how smart he is, because those border collies are just like the smartest thing on it. But I'm sure your little guy is a sweetheart and
He's
very
so cute.
intelligent. Okay,
Mystery
Nathan just
Snail
got back
Guardian
to
says,
me.
"Wow, I don't have a
Go ahead.
single moderator here. What is going on?"
Yeah, that is strange that we don't
I
have a mod
promise
going
you I
on.
had moderators. So I'm just going to fix this, and I'm going to mod a few people because
Oh,
I
sure.
did I had moderators at one point. So Annette, you get one because you're the one that called it out.
Yes.
Ha 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 ha.
Yes. Ooh, Bernice Mountain Dog would be a really pretty combination with a healer, Kyle. I like that. And they're very smart and very gentle. They're wonderful dogs. I've never met a Bernese Mountain Dog, or a burner, as us dog people like to call them, that I haven't liked. They're just perfect.
Right.
Okay, Nathan says, okay, I've seen the response email and have it saved. Okay, while we're here though, do I need to add a heat pack, seeing how you are having colder weather, never shipped before? I find when it comes to plants to not take the gamble, even though it does add to the weight for your overall shipping cost. I would rather ensure that the plants actually arrive live, as opposed to withered and gross. So
Hmm.
yeah, I would advocate for the heat packs. I know that I just got some moss in the mail not that long ago, and they didn't supply anything for the moss whatsoever. But moss tends to handle colder temperatures a little bit more, from what I understand. But with anything that's not moss, I would definitely put a heat pack in, even with little floaters. Like with
Hmm.
my Salvinia, I always use a heat pack, and I find that that's beneficial. So hope that helps.
Yeah, for sure.
Annette is reveling in her mod abilities with
Yeah,
her
and
little devil laugh. Very
in the
nice.
power that she received. I'm actually glad
Hmm.
that she pointed that out because I know at one point I
Yes.
did have moderators. I don't know what happened.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I
now,
was. Go ahead.
sorry, no, I was just going to say now I have moderators again. So
Yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah, no, that's definitely a concern to have that. And it doesn't help sometimes when certain people aren't on chat for whatever reason. Like maybe they're
Hmm.
busy modding for another channel or something. So I was just starting to set up mine a little bit with mods, and I've probably listed about at least a dozen, just
Hmm.
on the off chance that somebody isn't available, then maybe somebody else would be able to pitch in as well. And I
Yeah.
figured that that's just kind of wise.
No,
Okay, Nathan
and
asks, I'm sorry, I just wanted to have Nathan's question asked. Can I use those hand warmers for camping? Yes, but I believe there's a different style with the Uniheat ones. I would look at the packaging, but I believe you can use them for camping as well. Okay, sorry, Jess. Go ahead.
no, you're fine. Nathan, don't take that moderator thing to your head there, sir. Be careful because I can take it away just as quickly as I can give it.
Yes, you have to earn that privilege and keep that privilege.
I I did make Nathan a moderator though because he is
Hmm.
faithfully in my stream every Saturday and faithfully in
Oh
Josh's
yeah,
stream every Monday.
yeah.
So I know I can count on him if anybody does act up in any kind of a way.
Oh, absolutely. No, Nathan is amazing. He's great, and we're lucky to have him join the fish fam in recent months. So
Hmm.
that's awesome. Well deserved.
Kyle, everybody is getting a power trip now that they have that blue wrench.
Exactly. And Annette makes a good point. Never ship the fish with the hand warmers. And
No.
and the other thing that I would recommend, Nathan, is I utilize really dense packaging paper and tape that on my heat packs,
Hmm.
just so that way it's not making direct contact,
Yeah.
especially if you put plastic baggies or something in with your plants. You don't want that plastic to melt and then just
Right.
meld on in there. So as a precaution, I would say wrap it with some sort of like butcher's paper or some
Hmm.
sort of really dense packaging paper that you get in an Amazon package, and that will work wonders as well
Yep.
to help with that.
I
And it'll help with the insulation and
Yes.
padding.
I know anytime I've ever had anything shipped to me with a heat pack, they've always got it wrapped in like newspaper, several layers of
Yes.
newspaper if it's the thinner stuff, but the heat pack has never
Hmm.
just been in the package. It's always been wrapped in something.
Absolutely. Yeah, and newspaper conducts and retains heat really well. So that would be another resource. And Brian
Mhm.
is also recommending paper lunch bags, and that's great
Yes.
too. And it's an
Yep.
economical one too, and something you can just keep
Absolutely.
on hand.
Right. Yes, for sure. Kyle wants to know when he is ever bad. Listen, sir, I have spent time with you before. You can be pretty ornery when you want to be. He could Kyle can be pretty ornery when he wants to be. He knows
Oh, of
this.
course. Of course. We all have that mischievous side to us, I think.
Absolutely. So, oh, Nathan was going to use cheaper Tupperware so the
Hmm.
banana leaves don't get damaged.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
worried about
That's
the shipping
wise.
costs. I mean,
Yeah.
that's an option.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from. And I would also recommend putting paper towels in with it, like a damp paper
Yes.
towel, to make sure
Yep.
that there's some sort of condensation and some exchange of moisture, because otherwise they'll just dry out.
Yep.
So that would be another thing I would recommend. You could put it just on the bottom if you have a thick enough layer, but what I like to do is just kind of wrap it gently, like you're putting them in a blanket, so
Yep.
that way it's fully enclosed with some sort of moisture, and you still have a little bit of air exchange.
So, sorry if you saw everybody go nuts behind me. Josh is
Oh, you're
actually outside
fine.
of the camera and he just fed
Oh,
everybody. So,
oh,
you
no,
guys
they're
all got a little
fine.
bit of a show.
Oh, no, that's awesome. I love that tank behind you. I
Yeah.
love them. They're just so lovely.
This is probably one of the craziest tanks that we have, at least in
Hmm.
this room. These guys are nuts when it's feeding time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're voracious eaters for sure, but it's enjoyable to see them actually, have those feeding responses.
Yeah, for sure. He could not have waited until the stream was over. He had to give everybody a show.
Oh, sure, of course. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No. Okay, so yeah, like you were saying, again, anytime I've ever been given plants, whether it was from Kelly or Stephen P, shipped them to me,
Mhm.
yes, they were always in paper towel, like you said, either wrapped in a blanket,
Mhm.
gently wrapped up in
Mhm.
that wet paper towel, or one on the bottom and one on top, kind of like a
Yes.
sandwich.
Right,
So, but
exactly. It's like a layering process.
wet paper towel, most definitely, that
Mhm.
definitely keeps them healthy while they're being transported.
Yes, absolutely. And I would also recommend avoiding shipping close to the weekends just because on Sunday you'll get lag time. Like, for
Yep.
instance, I'm going to be sending some plants to Gina, and
Mhm.
I am not going to send them off before Monday because I don't want them stuck in transit on a Sunday. And then
Yeah.
the heat pack dies. I usually try to get the 72-hour heat packs so that at least they're good for 3 days. And
Mhm.
they'll still hold on to a little bit of warmth after that period because it's in an enclosed space, but
Right.
I try to avoid any sort of delays. Or if there's like snow coming ahead, I said the S word, I know, uh, or any sort of inclement weather, I would hold off until you know that the coast is going to be clear from both your vantage point to their vantage point, and
Yep.
then you'll have a higher success rate of them arriving safely.
Yeah, for sure. Keeping an eye on your weather is important, but it's also important to keep an eye on the weather of the person you're shipping to,
Absolutely.
just so that it's kind of as close to the same temperature wise as possible so that it's not a huge shock for the fish or the plants or,
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I actually have some news that I want to share with people, and I have been itching to do it. But
Yes.
now that it's absolutely official, I can
Yes.
say so.
Yes,
Um,
I'm thrilled to hear this.
I know. Yeah, because I have been sharing a little bit on Discord, but I
Right.
couldn't make it like official on here until everything was kind of set in stone in both places.
Oh, sure,
Um,
of course.
I got a job at our LFS that we have been shopping, patrons at for 20 plus years. They took over new ownership and they were looking to staff the place, and I got an offer and I accepted it. So, um,
Congrats.
yeah, I'm actually going to be working out my final 2 weeks at my current employer. And
Mhm.
so the 27th will be my first day at the LFS. And I'm
Very
so
nice.
excited. So
Oh,
excited.
yeah. Absolutely. That's wonderful. Do you
It's
get any sort of discount on any products because you are an employee?
anything and everything that I want within that store, I get at cost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's quite a discount. And it's
Mhm.
going to help being that I have, 28 fish tanks and hundreds of fish to
Mhm.
feed. It's,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. It's a blessing for sure. And the fish
Yeah.
will love that as well.
I think so. But yeah, I'd been kind of bouncing back and forth, wasn't really sure if it was something that I wanted to do, but then I met with the co-founder Thursday
Mhm.
afternoon after I finished my other job, and we were talking, and he looked right at me and he said, "I really think that this job was meant for you." And I was like,
Mm.
okay."
That's
So
really good feedback.
yeah, I'm jumping straight into it. It's something new and different, but you know, being that I love fish and it's a passion and
Mhm.
it's something I really enjoy. I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun working there.
Oh, absolutely. And you have so much experience with a wide variety of species. So you're very
Yes.
well versed. So
Yeah.
that will help. You have that educational
Mhm.
background of knowing all their specific needs and everything. And even
Mhm.
though, you'll unfortunately have that issue that so many people at LFSs do, where people want to buy fish that they're not prepared for or
Yeah.
fish that they don't know how to keep properly, but at the same time you can provide that input and try to steer them in the right direction.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um, and the biggest perk I think in all of this is I'm going to be learning as I go, because just
Mm,
because I've been doing this for over 20 years doesn't mean that I know everything there is to know. Um,
exactly.
so it's going to help me in the long run better care for my fish, and also pass on that knowledge to anybody that comes in that may not know things that I know. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That exchange of commerce and ideas and husbandry
Mhm.
techniques, I think, is always a blessing
Oh yeah.
for us as fish keepers because it's an ever evolving industry.
For sure. Yeah. And yeah, I'm just really excited. And the fact that it's literally right across the street, like I walk out my
Hmm.
door, go down to the corner across the street, and I'm at work.
Yeah. That's a
That's
perfect commute. Yeah.
you cannot get any better than that unless you're living in the apartment upstairs from the place that you're working at. That's
Exactly.
there's really no better
Exactly.
commute than that. So
No, no. And that'll save on the gas bill a little bit for you.
considering I drive a pickup truck that is a V8,
Hmm.
she's thirsty.
Yeah.
She's definitely thirsty.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just oh, Brian must have missed it. Yes, the employee discount is that I can buy anything and everything in that store that I want at cost. So yeah, that's a pretty awesome perk. And I gotta be careful because that can get really dangerous. If I
Oh,
see a
yeah.
tank and know, oh my gosh, it's gonna cost me this much to buy this tank versus what somebody walking in,
Hmm.
or oh my gosh, I really like this fish and it's super cheap because I can get it at cost. I have to be
Hmm.
careful with that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can't abuse the privilege. It's
And
like something that you would have to space out, so that way it's not like you're just cleaning everything out.
yeah, and somebody actually brought up a good point to me and said to use the theory, well, if I really still want it next week, then I'll buy it.
Mhm. Exactly.
Um, yeah,
That's a
because
good
otherwise I'm
method
going to
to
be
stand by.
snapping up any new fish that I see in there. I'm going to be like, oh, that's going to look really cool in this tank. Let me buy it.
Mhm.
And before I know
Yeah.
it, I have overstocked tanks and, you know,
Right.
so
Exactly. I totally get that. You've got to avoid that temptation and stay practical as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yep. And, they're expanding their saltwater section because there already is a
Mm.
saltwater section, but it's not a lot.
Mhm.
Because unfortunately, people in this area don't really go for the salt water. So they're
Mhm.
expanding that. They're going to try and get the knowledge out about how fun salt water can be, which is going
Mhm.
to be good for me because I don't really know a lot about salt water. So
Yeah, I get it.
that's another perk. I'm going to learn a lot about salt water, how to care for saltwater fish.
That's awesome.
So it's going to be a win-win for me, I think. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think there's more perks than anything else. And I'm just happy that you have that opportunity. That's incredible. And it
Yeah,
gets to have you do something that you love. It's something that you enjoy. And I think that that kind of makes life worthwhile if we have a job or some sort of calling that we're passionate about. It helps us get up in the morning and say, "Hey,
for
I'm
sure.
ready to take on the day."
I mean, yeah, and you're not wrong with that. The job that I have now, I do absolutely love. I look forward to
Mhm.
getting up every morning and going in and cutting up with my coworkers and laughing and having
Yeah.
a good time, but still getting the job done. So
Mhm.
I really am going to miss them. But my
Yeah.
current supervisor, I did put in my 2 weeks. I'm going to work that full 2 weeks out.
Mhm.
And, he told me if things don't work out over here, I thought the grass was greener, but I really end up hating it, that I'm more than welcome to come back, which
Well, that's good.
that's a huge peace of mind for me because this is such a
Yeah.
big jump and change of any
Mhm.
kind terrifies me, like scares the hell out of me.
Oh,
So
yeah. You
to know that I
you need
have,
that safety net.
yeah, to know that I have that to fall back on just in case definitely makes me happy. But he even told me, he said, I'm never going to see you again. The fish is what you love. Fish is something that you do constantly. He's like, I don't think I'm ever going to see you again. And I'm like, well,
Oh.
that's the goal. But yeah,
Yeah, you do have to have something to fall back on because otherwise you're just leaving yourself vulnerable. And I get that.
yeah. And I mean, I'm doing it because it's going to be a good thing, I think, for the family and just in general, it's a good thing. But
Absolutely.
again, that safety net is good to have back there behind me just in case I don't want to fall on my face. I'd rather be caught up.
Right. No, I agree with you 100%. I've got the dog in the window, so just give me 1 minute. I just
Sure.
need
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
bring
you're
him
fine.
back in.
Yeah, Jeff, change in general for me, I've never really been a fan of any kind of change. It's really hard for me to adjust, but I think that I think this is going to be a good thing. It's going to be quite an adjustment, but I think it's going to be a good thing. B Wiz, what's going on? Coral Works, hello. Timbo, taking it easy. Thanks all of you for joining in. Okay.
And I am back.
That was quick.
I don't know even what he was barking. I just brought him back, and now he's laying on his blankie, being good. So that's good.
Just chilling out now. That works.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It's like give me another half hour, and then you'll have, and then we'll do what this and that. And it's just, I swear, with those two,
Right.
with Cosmo and Ruthie, it's almost like having children. They're just so demanding. But they're doing okay. Ruth pieing herself, Cosmo's laying down, so it's all good.
Good. That's good. All I have to worry about is my cats like trying to come through here while I'm streaming because they seem to know every single time. So far, I'm lucky, and I've got one sitting on the fish tank, but she's not. She's
Yes.
looking outside, probably at the birds. Well, Dave, hello. No
Mm-hmm. Oh
chatty.
yeah. Oh yeah. That'll keep her occupied for a bit for sure. Yes. Me
she's
lurky.
she's
Yeah.
also
No
very
problem,
large
Dave.
and
We're just glad to have you here.
yes. This specific cat is a kitten. I shouldn't say kitten. Today is actually her birthday. She's a year old. She's very large and pregnant right
Oh,
now, and
happy
so
birthday,
we're on
kitty.
kitten watch.
Oh, wow. Oh,
She's
wow.
very,
Wow.
very large and pregnant, and so we're we're on kitten watch because I'm sure
Mm.
we're gonna have kittens anytime now.
Oh, geez. Yeah, and with her being a year old, yeah, you gotta watch out for them when they're that young. I'm surprised that she have, a pretty large litter at her age.
I mean, she's because her mom actually got pregnant young too. Apparently, it runs in the family. I don't know,
Mm,
um, but
apparently. Yeah.
her mom only had her and then got pregnant a second time and had her little
Mhm.
sister. So she only had one both times that she was
Mhm.
pregnant.
Yeah.
This one is large, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's at least three. I'm thinking she's going to at least have three.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the case with Candy because she hadn't been pregnant before, and that was her only pregnancy. But she had
Hmm.
3 kittens, and her boy Icarus, he took up like the whole womb, I swear. And so when his
Yeah.
sisters followed suit, I mean, Jeannie was just super tiny, and Sophie was just kind of somewhere in the middle. So yeah, I get it, and it can
Here she is.
mislead things.
Camera's not really going
No,
to show that
no,
big old
it's gonna
belly,
be
but
like two.
she got a big old belly.
Oh, she's such a cutie. Oh, what a sweet baby.
She really, this one, like, she is my best friend. She really is.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh
she's,
yeah, I believe
we're
that.
watching her close because we know kittens are close for sure. Big old belly.
Yeah, yeah,
Big old belly.
yeah. You definitely start noticing those signs for sure.
Yeah, she's definitely starting to show the signs. She's never too far away from
Mm-hmm.
anybody.
Yeah.
She's doing a lot of grooming of herself, if you catch that
Mm-hmm.
drift. So
Yeah.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
preparing.
I get what you're saying.
Yep.
Does she have like a nesting area for the delivery?
Um, at the you can't do that at the moment. No, but I do have an
Mm-hmm.
old dog bed that I'm going to wash up and try and find a nice, comfy, quiet space.
Oh, nice. That would
The
be
problem
very
is
encouraging for her for
the
sure.
problem is you can set up a nesting space wherever you want, and there's
Mm-hmm.
if they don't like it, they're gonna move the cats or they're gonna have them somewhere else.
Exactly. I know. We tried to prep Candy with a spot, and she ended up going into my mother's closet amongst
Mhm.
all her clothes and
Yep.
had the kittens. And then, when we tried to check on her, then she ended up moving them and moved them underneath a dresser.
Yep.
And they really like it when it's just very cave like and it's not exposed. It's
Dark.
just very
Right.
quiet, very dark, and
Yep.
secluded. So I, I get it. She doesn't want to.
Yep.
You just hearing little mews and then be indicated, okay, I know where they are.
Yeah. Yep. Aside from fish, cats is something that I have always had in my life, and I have gone through several litters with several cats. So, I
Hmm.
cats and kittens are one thing I definitely know how to care for. I know.
Oh,
I
yeah. They're
know.
sweethearts.
They
Yeah. And she's lucky to have a good mama.
got got your purr box
Nathan
going.
asks an interesting question. He's asking if either of us use botanicals in our tanks. He won a pack with Jess on the Aquatic Morning Show, and so far he's a fan. I have learned you can put too much in a tank and it was brown within an hour. Okay.
Hmm.
Yes, Nathan, I use botanicals in mine as well. I find that it doesn't muddy the water too quickly, but I diversify which botanicals I put in. I always use catappa leaves. I usually put one in each tank, regardless of the size of the tank. Sometimes I'll break it in half or something if I need to in a smaller space. And I really like the botanicals a lot from KJE Aquatics. I use a lot of those curly pods and the flattened pieces that he has. I believe it's from jackfruit, perhaps. But yes, I use them and I use them in every tank. And I swear it helps fight off infection. It allows for decent slime coat and it reduces stress. And it just gives a natural vibe. So yeah, I'm very pro botanical.
I personally have not. I have done the leaves a couple of times, but like Nathan, I didn't really like the way it made my tank look, so I quit
Hmm.
using them.
Yeah, yeah. If you do like that iced tea look, yeah, I
Yep.
get that. I think it's one of those to each their own, but the benefits for me outweigh the aesthetic, so that's why I go for those as well. But either way you look at it, there are beneficial things that you can add without needing the botanicals. You can use
Hmm.
extracts. I believe KG Tropicals carries the dark water extracts, and it doesn't really muddy the water that much. And you can
Right.
use BetaGuard, all of those different aspects, especially for betas. But I find that it works for most of them in general. I find that that stuff is all very beneficial for their well being and health. Mark Sturlson has joined us. Hello, Mark. Always
Hello,
a pleasure.
Mark. Yeah, maybe I should start. I don't know. I just, and I do know that bettas, especially like that brown water, murky kind
Hmm.
of look to their tanks.
Hmm.
So maybe I'm just
Yeah.
being selfish, and because I don't like the way it looks, I'm not using it. But maybe I should give it a try. I don't. I don't know.
Well, maybe you could. Well, maybe if you just use it in small portions, yes. I'm not a big fan of the leaves because I get it. They degrade really, really fast and they're kind of
Hmm.
messy with the leaf litter and everything. I would seriously consider some of those more substantial botanicals, like the ones that Keith offers, because you can remove them at any time. And I find that they don't cloud the water as much. You can use like the
Oh, okay.
alder cones, the jackfruit stuff, those little twisty pods. And I find that it doesn't take nearly as long for them to degrade. I mean, I have some in there that are still there from like 3 months ago, and I don't have a
Mm.
problem with them in there. And I find that, you can place them a little bit more selectively in the tank. And like I said, I don't think they really muddy it as much as the catappa leaves do. So definitely worth looking at.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll have to give those a shot. The leaves I actually got from Sandy Farrell. She sent me a bunch of shrimp food and a bunch of
Hmm.
those leaves, and I really haven't used the
Yeah.
leaves very much.
Hmm. I know that the shrimp really love that stuff. I mean, they just love anything that's filled with some sort of like decaying detritus, all those little nibbles, nibblet bits that they get from. all of that vegetation falling apart because they're obligate vegetarians. And so,
Yeah,
you factor that into the equation as well. And
right.
Nathan makes an interesting point that he likes the alder cones and the coconut petal a lot, and the mulberry leaves are something that his snails and plecos love. And he uses cholla wood for whenever he wants to use the shrimp. So anything like that, I think,
Oh,
can be beneficial when it's done. Yes, I've heard mixed things about cholla wood. To be perfectly honest, I mean, I've heard from Dee Dee in particular that she's not a fan of cholla wood at all because you would get fish that get stuck in there, and you just worry about it degrading and kind of getting nasty. But I think with
yeah.
invertebrates like snails and shrimp, I think the cholla wood would be a good choice.
I actually see this is where working in an LFS is going to get me because I actually want to
Hmm.
try out shrimp one more time, see
Yes.
what happens. And they have some really, really,
Yeah.
really, really pretty ones. I'm going to end up in so
Oh,
much
which
trouble
ones
if
do you
I
have
don't
your eye on?
um oh my gosh, you would ask me that. They're blue. I can't remember
Mm,
the exact name that was on the glass. They're a
mhm,
really, really pretty dark blue.
mm.
They're gorgeous.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, yeah. I don't blame you at all. I was looking at some that Kenny had at Daniken, and I told him, "Hey, your blue diamonds and your blue dreams, if they're just reproducing like crazy and you need to get rid of some," I sent him a little bit of money. I said, "Just throw some in, and I'll give them a try."
Yeah.
Because I've wanted to try some shrimp, and I love the blues for whatever reason. They
The
really draw to me.
the blues are so pretty, and Papa Shrimp has some. And again, I cannot remember the
Yes.
actual name of them, but they're the red and white ones. They look like candy canes.
Oh,
They are the
yeah,
cutest
yeah,
little
yeah,
critters.
yeah.
Oh my
They
goodness.
are, they are.
I had some of those
Yeah.
from him, and unfortunately I was very ignorant about how to take care of shrimp and they all died. So
Mhm. Yeah,
now
I
that I have a
know,
little bit
but,
more
t you
knowledge,
know mhm. It helps. It definitely helps. The way you're describing them, they kinda remind me of the, Caradina pintos. Those are the ones that are ringing a bell to me that are similar, but I could be
um
wrong. And the ones that I was, talking about earlier are neos. And with my water parameters, the neos tend to do better for me than the Caradina.
see, and the
And
neocaradinas is the
Steven has
ones that I
joined us.
usually get.
Mhm.
Okay, here
Yeah.
we go. They're actually the crystal red shrimp.
Oh,
I
crystal
was
red.
gonna
Okay, gotcha.
see, yeah. I was gonna see if it would let me share the screen.
And while Jess is looking that up, thank you, Stephen, for the reply to the email that you sent me. I hope you got mine in reply, and I just appreciate
There we go. It's
perspective slants for the bowl. I'm looking forward to it. Oh yes, those. Yes, they're so
they're
cute.
beautiful. They're
Hmm.
so beautiful. And
Definitely
Papa
beautiful.
Shrimp, I mean, he sent me some very healthy ones, and he sent me some that were actually buried, so it didn't take me long at all to have babies.
Hmm.
But again,
Yeah.
I was so ignorant to shrimp care in general that I just essentially I killed them because I didn't know any better. Um, Now I
Yeah.
know shrimp care a little bit better, so I think I'm going to be able to handle it a
Hmm.
little bit better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, even though losses are never fun to work with, that's just part of the hobby, is that it's a matter of trial and error, and we figure out what works best for us with our certain parameters and what our
Yep.
tanks will allow, and we try to learn and grow from there. So yeah, no bad feelings there. And I haven't even kept shrimp before, but I've been doing a ton and ton of research on the matter. But
Mm,
even at that, I know I'm going to have losses. It's just inevitable. And sometimes you
yeah.
just learn from physically, interacting with them as opposed to always reading it directly from sources. I think you have
Oh,
to
for
have it
sure.
in tandem. I think you have to have both that are being utilized to be successful. As I am
For sure.
successful, I gotta get some from Papa Shrimp myself, and the Garden of Eater for that matter. I have a feeling I'm gonna have at least a couple tanks of shrimp.
Yeah, they have beautiful shrimp too. They actually had brought a whole ton of them to the Aquashella Chicago, and I spent so much time at their table just looking at all of their
Mhm.
shrimp because they're all just they're gorgeous.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I know Grant especially, I mean Shelby does as well. But Grant is very particular about what kinds of strains he wants to put out, and he's
Mhm.
very good at educative content for
Mhm.
people getting into the hobby, people who are advancing in it, and Shelby is amazing as well. I absolutely love her. If I have to ask anything about killifish, I always know who to go to. And
Yeah.
Shelby is just amazing. They're both quite a team. Oh yeah, no problem, Stephen. You can get back to me whenever you'd like it. It's no problem. I know that you've got more than your hands full, so no problemo at all. I'm looking forward to the new video though from Dan. So you're doing some awesome work for him. So mad props to you.
Yeah, when it comes to editing, Stephen P definitely knows his stuff.
And Bex has been a real asset for them as well with all those T-shirt designs. So
Yes.
that's awesome. You know,
All of her.
it's great to see so many people within the community finding, jobs within the industry. And
Mhm.
I think that's phenomenal that we kind of team up from each other and then we kind of learn from one another. And it just kind of, I think, broadens the community even further and makes it more inclusive to everyone. So that's always
Yeah.
encouraging to see.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Nathan, just so you know, there are no specific rules on how to mod or what you do as a moderator sharing channels. That's great. I
Hmm.
appreciate it. Everybody's channel that you're sharing appreciates it. My biggest concern is if you see any kind of a spam bot or you see someone being rotten to someone else, take care of that.
Hmm.
But
Exactly.
sharing channels and things like that, there's no rhyme or reason. Do what you can do and don't worry about anything else. There's no rules.
Absolutely. No, you're doing great, Nathan. Mad props to
Yeah.
you as well to just jump in there and take it head on. That's awesome. And Steven makes a good point that Bex also does dance shorts. So that's
Yeah,
awesome. So she's able
that
to
is.
kind of freelance in a few different directions. And I know she's had a lot on her plate, but I really miss her weekly water change streams. Those
Yes.
really made my Saturdays. She and
Yeah.
Steven. It was a lot of fun. So if and when she's ever ready, and of course she can take as much time as she needs, we're
Yeah.
here for her emotionally and everything. I will be looking forward to that return because that was just so much fun.
It was for sure. There's a lot of streams that I've been missing lately, and hopefully I can get back to being able to being a regular in those streams. But we've
Yeah,
got a
I
lot
get
going on
that.
here
I
too,
get
and
it.
it's hard to focus on so much at once.
Exactly. I know. I have the same problem with everything that's been going on as of late. It's just been hard, but I'm starting to get back into it, and uh, things seem to be evening out a little bit. And I'm happy to be able to stream with you, something we haven't done in
Yes,
a couple of weeks. So I'm
I know.
happy to have been here and spend time with you and everybody.
Yeah, it really feels like it's been forever since we were actually on this stream together. So it was nice for you to be able to come back.
Agreed. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've missed it. And I'd like to be able to, have this more regularly. And I'm hoping, as long as another crisis doesn't occur, we'll be able to have a little bit more feasibility to do that because it's a lot of fun always being with
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah. And actually, that's the other thing too with this new job. Working weekends may be something that I have to do. So I may have to tweak my stream
Hmm.
day and time. I don't know. Um,
Yeah,
I really
sure,
won't
of
know until I get
course.
into the swing of things with it. But hopefully, I don't have to change it because I've had this time slot now for so long that it again, change. It'll be weird and I won't like it. But
Yeah. No, I get it. But feel free to keep me posted and I
oh,
will
yeah.
certainly be as flexible as possible. And as long as it's not conflicting with a sub job that I have during the weekday, I'm good with anything. And I can do late night if I need to. So
Okay.
just keep me posted.
Oh yeah, no, I will definitely, of all people, keep you posted. Like I said, it may be because I don't actually start over there
Thank
for
you.
2 weeks, and then I imagine things are going to be a little chaotic when I first start, as far as
Hmm.
scheduling and training and everything. But hopefully,
Sure.
hopefully, if I have to work weekends, I can
Yeah,
work around it somehow to still be able to stream.
absolutely.
Oh no. Steven says he sat on his ankle wrong trying to sit
Oh
crisscross on the
no.
bed and now it hurts to walk.
Oh,
Poor guy.
dang. I'm sorry, Steven. Ugh.
Maybe
Yeah.
crisscross wasn't the best idea
mm,
for you, sir.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I get what Mark's saying though, to walk it off, be able to get those joints moving, as painful as it is, it does
Mhm.
help. But I would definitely put some ice on it and see if that might numb it a little bit before you start putting full weight on it and just taking it slow. But that sucks, Steven. I'm sorry.
Mhm. Yeah, that's got to be painful.
Mm.
Um yeah. Nathan says you need your ankles. Yeah.
Yes, they are very, very important.
Yeah.
Not sure
I
the
don't think
last
I
time
would
he
have
sat
even tried to
crisscross
sit Chris.
applesauce.
Yeah. I don't think I would have even attempted to sit crisscross on my bed, like on the floor or something, sure, but on a bed where it's,
Hmm.
cushy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you because you could sink in behind and then not be able
Yeah.
to get your equilibrium. I mean, yeah, I agree. But
Yeah.
if you're on a sturdy surface like on the floor, absolutely, yeah, you could give it a try. And
Yeah.
Aquatic Moose has joined us. Hello, Aquatic
Hello.
Moose.
Steven says, yay for getting old. Yeah, lots. I mean, listen,
Oh, I know.
I,
It sucks.
my ankle was bugging me yesterday while I was at work, but I work on a concrete floor all day long and have to stand awkward sometimes to crimp the hoses that I'm crimping. And
Hmm.
the ankle's already, it was injured years ago. I fell down my stairs. Um, so yeah, no,
Oh,
I get it.
dang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we
Yeah,
have
that's not
a
fun,
really
especially
old
if it's a
wooden,
recurring injury.
no, we have the really old wooden style banister on our stairs, and I was bringing a bag of
Hmm.
garbage from upstairs to take downstairs and about tripped over the cat. The bag wrapped itself around the end of the wooden banister and pulled me down. I thought
Oh
I broke my
no.
ankle. Ended up just, it was a
Ugh.
severe sprain. I was in a boot for like 8 weeks. It was the worst.
Ugh. Ugh. I can imagine that that was not fun.
No, it really wasn't. And to this day, that ankle still gives me issues constantly.
Yeah, I can imagine. Sometimes we don't fully recover from those injuries.
No, this definitely is one that I never fully recovered from. Okay,
Don't mind
sorry. I'm
me.
just
I'm just
really,
I'm looking at chat myself.
yeah, I'm just trying to read over chat here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, yeah, everybody's just talking about life getting in the way of watching live streams and adulting and how much it sucks.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. You sometimes wish for those days when you were a kid again and you had a little bit more feasibility to just do whatever you want. So I get that.
Right.
Okay, Aquatic Moose asks an interesting question. Thoughts on
Yep.
feed worms? Rinse first.
We actually feed
Yeah,
our
I
axolotls
would say to
earthworms.
rinse first.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yep. We feed our
I
axolotls
I would
earthworms
be a
and we
little
do rinse them.
cautious. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just wanted
Hmm.
to say that we
Yeah, I've
axolotls,
actually
we
got to
feed
order
them.
some more for my raised bed.
Hmm. Oops. What have I got going on here? Okay, there we go. I don't know if my internet is just being goofy today or what's going on.
Mm, I don't know. It may even be StreamYard that's having a problem.
It could be, yeah.
Because I know sometimes it'll just kind of get jumpy.
Yep, for sure. So yeah, bait worms, that's what we do. We do rinse them first and then we feed them, and we haven't ever had an issue.
And that's a good thing to know as well, because, I'll be getting Lucy sooner rather than later, and
Hmm.
I'm already thinking ahead, okay, I need to go ahead and start getting some worms cultivated. And that's why I was
Yep, I'm for some reason I keep getting a whole bunch of choppy on my end. Anyway, um, yeah,
Yeah,
we
same
use
here. Same here. Mark's thinking it's you.
it. It could be. It very well could be. Um, yeah, we just go to our local
Well, at least
bait and
getting
tackle
towards the
shop.
trail end, so that helps a little
Hmm.
bit.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping an eye on the time because unfortunately I do have to do that adulting thing as soon as this ends. So, yay. And I almost didn't make it
Yeah,
because
no, I understand. I'm sorry, Jess.
I
Some of that was a little sorry, Jess. Some of that was a little choppy on my end.
yeah, see, I think I might be actually having internet issues over here.
Okay. Okay. So that's when that happens. Believe me, it's never fun when your service provider is just giving you time.
Yeah, unfortunately, we tend to have internet issues quite often, and Josh is upstairs playing video games, which could be slowing everything down for the rest of the house.
Yeah, no, I totally. Mark makes a good point. Yes, Mark, I want to get myself a worm farm. And I like the idea of converting those scraps, like you're saying. It's a lot more eco-conscious, and that way you have a steady supply for the axolotl. So that's going to be something I'm looking into as well. So yeah, I agree with you 100% on that one. So more infrastructure I get to add to this little hobby of mine, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's also more environmentally conscious. It's something I've wanted to do
Mhm.
anyway. So it
That thing just roots. Yeah, I'm having some serious issues over here. Goodness gracious. Um, as far as worm farms go, though, you could talk
oh
to
geez,
Brienne Farrell. What in the world? Okay, guys, bear with us here. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with my internet. I'm just doing the best I can to make it last for about 5 more minutes.
yeah, it kind of seems like it's
Yeah, see, I think you're cutting out for me and I'm cutting out
Mark
for
says
you.
no green waste ever leaves his place. Yeah,
Ah,
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it all ends up in the garden one way or another. That's very good, Mark.
Hmm.
It's all similar. It all goes back to the same place, and you don't have waste. So I think that's great. That's the way it should be.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm still getting everything cutting in and out here, so it's probably best if I just shut this down because it's not getting any better
Want to
on my
just
end.
call it a little bit early?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I
I
get that. I agree.
appreciate you. Yeah. I appreciate everybody that came in and watched. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with my internet and it's getting on my last nerves. So, um, thank you to everyone that came and watched. Lady R, thank you for being able to join today and have a little bit of a
Oh, of
chat.
course. Yeah, absolutely. It's always a pleasure to be with you, Jess.
Yes, hopefully everything works out and we can do this again next weekend.
Absolutely. We'll plan on that.
Okay, perfect. Well, you guys all enjoy the rest of your Saturday and your weekend, and we will see you all next week.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.